Hey, everybody. What's going on? Happy Thanksgiving Eve, Turkey Day Eve. The fixins are getting ready. At least in my place, I'm not sure about y'all. Of course, everybody's got all kinds of weird plans, but yep, got food, almost everything. A few items I probably got to run to the store real quick after the stream, of course. Trying to get Brian on here, but he's having some mic issues, so he's getting that fixed up. Hopefully, he'll wave at me down here in the bottom, let me know when he's ready to come in. So, wow, what's everybody doing? Let's see. We got Joseph Stanley in here, Maria Z, Dee Dee, hello. Texas Fish Room, Master Aquatics, Eduardo, Skipper, Fish Tropic. Hi, everybody. Yep. There's only a few of you in here right now, and I get it. It's kind of a, Turkey Day Eve and all. So uh, people probably hanging out with their family. Like I've been hanging out with my son most of the past 5 days, actually, since Friday when I picked him up because, well, I haven't seen him in several months. He's been off at school, and to have him here at home and just do normal boy things like we do, hanging out together, watching TV, movies, playing NHL 22 on the PlayStation. He kicks my butt all the time, but it's still fun. Hey, Jay Oliver, Liquid Zoo, what's up? Shrimpy people, are you ready, Brian? Wave at me. No, he's not ready. You're getting your turkeys ready for the smoker, huh? Okay. Yeah, I thought about doing a turkey on a smoker, but I'm gonna stick to the old traditional method since that's what I know, at least best. I'll try the smoking probably next year because I want to do a smoked turkey. Hey, Lady Diane, your daughter's coming in tomorrow. That's cool. Jay Oliver. Sup, dude? Ray Aquatics. Guppy Ranch. Good to see you in here. Awesome. Brian, are you ready? No. You normally deep fry, eh? Yeah, I get it. Changing it up. Especially you got a pretty cool smoker from what I've been seeing on Facebook. So I'd be smoking one too. But yeah. So what kind of plans? Here's a good question. And I thought about it over this week with my son being here and us kind of, I kind of basically took the week off and just to hang with my boy and focus on being with him. It's been forever, like I said. But what are you guys experiencing, or what do you guys do during the holidays when you have family coming over and you got to take a couple of days away from your fish room maintenance because you're with your family? How does it affect y'all, or do you find yourself trying to scramble in and squeeze in time to make sure you get your maintenance done? You ready yet, Brian? No. Oh, hey, Yellowstone. But yeah, I was wondering if any of y'all run into that because I noticed like this morning, I kind of ran around and did some water changes because I noticed that I had gotten behind just by not doing it as consistently as I had been doing it. So I can tell. I see it in my tanks. I see it in the water clarity or just whatever, the plant life, the way the plants look to me. So I got on my water changes and did some, and it made me think, man, I wonder, what else, especially in the next couple of days, tomorrow being Thanksgiving, who's really going to be working on their fish room? Um, I guess I would be if my son wasn't here. Honestly, I probably would be working in my fish room. That's why it's you avoid social interactions, eh? Yeah, I get it, but I'm so used to always having the family and all the boys, their wives, my grandkids. So, you know, I want to keep that going whether they're with me this holiday or not, eventually I want to still keep practice, because it takes practice to cook all that food. It really does. Last year I did, hey, everybody can cheer. Joseph Stanley's here. Are you ready yet, Brian? No. Okay. But last year, I made the whole meal. I planned it out, started on time, got it finished on time, did it all by myself, and it was awesome. So several years of practice to get to that point, and I'm going to try to repeat it again tomorrow and see if I can whip up the entire meal on my own without any help, just because I love doing it. You could have a video only content channel. I don't live stream myself either. You ready yet, Brian? Nope. That's what happens when you go buy new stuff. So we were talking today earlier, and he was on his way to Best Buy because he wanted to trade in the mic that he had, and he needed to get a different kind of whatever, Yeti mics or something like that. But anyway, he had one that looked, it just looked like something he didn't want having in his face during a live stream. That's the best way to put it. And so he decided he was going to trade it in, and he did apparently. And now there he is. I can see him down there in the little corner, but I haven't added him to the stream yet because he's still trying to fix his mic. Hey, Lady Metalhead. Good to see everybody in here. Hope everybody's getting ready for an awesome day, however you choose to celebrate it. Like I said, I choose to cook big meals so that way I can practice, so that way I can always have that in my back pocket for the family, because I love cooking. But everybody does things differently. Some people may not even want turkey. I know people that aren't eating turkey because they don't eat turkeys. They eat something else. Or, the running joke is because I'm Hispanic, we don't eat turkeys, we eat tamales, which is almost true. That was a family tradition that on Fridays after Thanksgiving, the family gets together and we all make the assembly line and assemble hundreds and hundreds of tamales all together. And it takes everybody to do it. And it takes about a good 8 hours in order to make them, put them in the pots, steam them, and then have some for dinner later on in the evening with some tequila, usually the beverage of choice. Turkey tamales. No, we don't make turkey tamales. It's interesting, though. I wonder if, I'm sure the family had made it sometimes, but we stick with our traditional pork. And my mother always loved refried bean tamales, which I didn't understand. I couldn't stand the things, but my mom loved them. Ooh, turkey for tamales. It is really good. But we do that every Thanksgiving, on the Friday after Thanksgiving, of course, because that's when everybody's all together. And we have everybody that volunteers to be on the assembly line, whether they want to or not. And then we make all the tamales. And then everybody goes home with bags and bags of dozens and dozens of tamales. So that way by Christmas, we have something to open on Christmas morning. And we get to unwrap our tamales. That's another joke. Anyways, you ready yet, Brian? Yes, no, no. Here, let's see. Hello, check. Say something. Nope, can't hear you. Okay, bye. Bean and jalapeno tamales are great. Are they really? I don't know. Even though I've eaten tamales my whole life, I've never got into the bean ones. Just never did. But that's just me. I stick with the traditional pork ones. I love them. Sometimes I do beef as well, but pork. It's the best way to go. And venison also. Hiya, Sherry. Who else came in that I didn't say hi to? Eric Wyrock. Hey, what's up, brother? Let me see. Select Pet. Hello. Danielle Velez. What's up? And I think that's it. Yeah. All right. So, Brian, are we good to go now? Oh, yes.
I'm just using the other microphone.
But not in your face?
Well, I don't understand what it is. I set it up, everything was working. Then when I got on here, I went to go use it, it went red, and I don't know what I'm doing. For one, because it's new, I'm just not sure of how to get it out of red. Because I shut it off, and then I turned it back on, and it went red again. So I don't know if like there's something running in the background or something, because it gives me like. And that's another thing I don't know. It gives me like 7 other microphones.
Venison tamales, yes, they're a thing.
What are a thing? A what tamale?
Venison.
Oh, venison tamales.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Especially because I grew up basically my father's family lived on a ranch. So everything they did there was homegrown, whether it was the beef, the pork, the venison. We'd go hunting right on the property, and then every Christmas we'd go to the butcher with all of our game and get it processed for us, so that way we could make sausages, tamales, and then sometimes the meat would be mixed, pork and tamale meat or venison meat for the tamales. Sometimes it's just pork, sometimes it's beef and pork. We did all kinds of different crazy things, but yeah, venison tamales really are a thing. It's more in the hardcore, deep South, because I'm from South Texas on the border, originally down in Laredo. I don't know if any of you Texans know where that's at. Yes, venison would be dry and a weird texture. That's why it's usually best with pork, because the pork gives it a little bit of the fat content. And that's a trick that I always did with my family recipe, was use like 2 pork butts and 1 beef roast. That way I get enough of a fatty content in the meat, so that way it's not so dry. Hey, Carrie. Oh, here we go with cooking lessons on Papa Shrimp's channel, Keeping It Shrimple. I'm going to have to change it to Keeping It Tamale.
That's
chicken
funny.
or pork.
So what's happening, man?
Oh, man, just getting ready for tomorrow, the big day of just eating too much and way wrong and against my diet, and enjoying hanging out with the family.
Your diet?
Yeah. What? A what?
Yeah. Some diet.
Hey, I got a bottle of water too. Hi, Carrie.
I don't know what
Did I see you in here? I think I saw you in here. We don't make turkey. We make the roast pork. Arroz con grandules. Wait, it popped up. It jumped up on me. Sweet potatoes, a paella, and Norwegian lobster. Wow. Yes, I did see Carrie. Okay. So, interesting stuff. Brian, I was asking everybody on the panel while you were messing with your mic about tank maintenance during the holidays.
Yeah.
What do you do differently, or do you do anything differently?
Yeah, I don't do it. I don't. During the holidays, if it's a day or two, I just take it off, leave everything alone. I might not even come turn the lights on. I might not feed. If I'm busy with that, with holidays and family, I try not to stress out about it. I try to leave it alone.
Right.
They'll be fine without you. I did a bunch of water changes and stuff just last couple of days. So it's not like, it's anything's going to fall apart if I don't do anything tomorrow. My eldest son comes in later this evening. So we're literally not going to do anything. So Yeah, it's more or less a sit around and do nothing kind of day. So,
Right. Now I get it. That's kind of what I'm looking at. But to this morning when I got in here and I looked, my OCD drove me crazy, and I was like, I got to do some auto changes.
oh yeah,
And I know it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's just like those tanks behind me. They had a lot of tannins in them from the driftwood that I put in there, and they're still leaching tannins, so they start getting off colored. Well, I want it to look a little bit better than that when I'm on my stream, so it doesn't look like one of my tanks has tea in it. But, that's just my own OCD hitting. It's not going to really affect all my shrimp and my fish. They're all doing fine. They're all pooping. So, I go with the father fish mentality that if they're pooping, they're eating, Uh-oh, we lost you. ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. Hello.
all right, I'm here.
Hello.
If sometimes what I do for extra, if I'm worried about getting them to use the bathroom, I just feed them brine shrimp.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a good way to get them to go, because my discus go like you wouldn't believe. The tanks are just terribly dirty, so they poop like machines. They eat a lot and poop a lot, just for pairs, a pair of discus. Yeah, they're pooping machines. So
yeah, non-hobby peeps, and then non-shrimpers look at the tank. Some of my tanks, I guarantee you, and they look at it. Why do you got all of that algae on the glass? That's unsightly. You need to scrub your glass. And I'm like, no, that's shrimp food.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't. I'm not someone who scrubs it either, so I could care less. It's the front glass is all I really do.
Yeah.
It's all I really care to do, just so I can see in there. It looks presentable. But
now, sometimes when I'm resetting a tank or something like that, or if I'm like, I have some tanks and I know I'm going to need to convert over from regular to Carradino tanks as I expand on my inventory. So I know that when I take those apart and replace the substrate or add substrate, whatever I do, which I probably just add substrate on top of everything. There's nothing wrong with doing that, I don't think, unless I think my substrate soured. But if it is, then I'll gravel vac it or whatever. But anyways, if I do something like that, yeah, I'll scrub all of the glass and everything, start all over, let it rebuild. But I still want it to grow back, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I took some down yesterday, and it was probably the most putrid smell I've ever smelled in my life. It was horrible.
The substrate?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was sand too, because they were tanks that I took down, that I emptied and shut the filters off and stuff.
Hey, Melvin.
They were sitting here, and this one's got guppies and a couple that I didn't know were in the tanks of the Neo tanks, a couple yellows and an orange. So I put them in here. And so what I decided to do is, we have a lot of plants here, but I had them dispersed in a lot of places. So I didn't really talk about them too much. So I actually made a tank of plants, and I'm actually making a tank of boost, because I keep my boost in my shrimp tanks and I don't put any ferts in them. Right. They do fine, but I figure if I put them in here and put some ferts in them, that way I can, trim them back, because boost is like Anubias. If you keep the roots, because they'll start to run super long roots and put all their energy into that. So you got to cut those off so it'll put it into the plant instead of the roots.
Right.
But I just figure, well, what the heck, I'll just make a tank of boost, a tank of plants I have the guppies, and that's another thing. I'm supposed to get a bunch of guppies, so I can put the guppies in here, It'll be a place to keep them. The plants will, eat up everything out of the stuff. But yeah, when I went to rinsing those, oh my gosh, it smelled like I was cleaning a porta potty. I mean, it was bad.
Right.
And, it's just the stuff that grows, inside of the substrate. It's just really nasty, horrible stuff.
Yeah, that's why I like the fact that when I saw the video that Mark made, and we talked about that, where he does a little bit of the gravel vacuuming in his shrimp tanks, despite all recommendations to not disturb your substrate because it could stir up some stuff. Well, I think that's his thinking, was that, well, instead of worrying about it getting stirred up, take it out.
Yeah, I gravel vac, but these more or less you could call what I do is resetting them.
I think that's easier if you just reset them, wash out the substrate,
actually
put it back in.
It's a lot better, but if it's another thing that I've never added to like, let's say, a maintenance list of something you should do or something you could do along the way as you're raising anything, shrimp, fish, anything. It's it's not like they're 100 gallon or 90 gallons or even a 75 or 55. I mean, they're easily handled. If you drain the water all the way down, to where it's just a little bit, and you can carry it, and you got a laundry tub, you just take your time, rinse it out, get all that stuff out. And then I actually even made it thicker. So I dumped more in it, but I didn't clean the glass. I didn't do anything. All I did was rinse out the substrate. I rinsed out the sponge filter, hooked it all back up, and up and running again. So I got 100% clean water, washed out substrate, which I'm sure all the bacteria in it's dead because I put blistering hot water in there because it's an easy way to kill Planaria. Anything that's in the substrate, snails that are growing, because what happens is when you when you parboil a snail, it floats. When it gets that heat, it floats. It can't choose if it's going up or down. It doesn't have that air bladder anymore. So once it dies, it pretty much floats, and you just stir that sand up real easy so it don't come out and go down your drain. And then you just rock back and forth. You can get all those snails out. And a snail going down the drain, if they're, smaller ones and stuff, it's not going to hurt anything because their shell's going to break down. Think all the hot water out of your washer, dryer, out of your washer, everything, the soaps and everything, it'll break down in seconds. So I just run it all down there, and but that way it kills like any snail eggs, Planaria, detritus worms, everything, kills it all. And it's like I'm starting all over again. But I only wipe the walls down, if there's anything stuck on it from the devil's weed or anything like that. But I don't do anything to it, and I set it back up because I really do want to kill everything on the glass and stuff. It's I'm just taking it down and setting it back up. But this way, all the heavies that are at the bottom are gone. But yeah, it's another thing that we could look at as fish tank keepers is a reset, how important resets are on smaller tanks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, when you have a huge tank, not so much, especially because all the work you put into it, and the bigger tanks do have a better chance for optimal parameters naturally.
Yeah, they take care of themselves. So
yeah.
I mean, there's no, it's not necessary. But when it comes to the small ones like this, and and you feed a lot, is to feed, and sometimes you overfeed and don't pay attention. Like you say, you can gravel vac. I've done it a million times, but in the long run, it's way, I won't say faster, but you can get way more yuckiness out of the tank and do a way better job if you just take everything out and start all over. And then, like I said, when you use the super hot water like that, it kills anything that's in the substrate. So if you do have planaria and detritus and all that, she ain't living in that blistering water. I'll tell you that. So that's one of my secrets is I always use that boiling water, even for black hair algae, I use it for that too. Put
snails are okay with shrimp, lady metalhead.
Oh yeah. It's just when they get out of hand is when they're not okay with shrimp. And then you're feeding to take care of your snails and not your shrimp.
Yeah, and that's where and call me simple-minded, keep it shrimple, but I just throw an assassin snail in there, and that takes care of the snails. And then once the snails are taken care of and they're to a controlled level, then I'll pull it out, put them in a different tank. Or because I have German rams, then I'll take snails out and I'll catch them while they're hanging on the glass, and I'll catch them in my net and feed them to my German rams, and they take care of them. So, but I think trumpet snails seem to be the best overall for handling the soft water conditions in Carradino tanks. Some of the other snails, like the ram's horns, they don't like it. It's too soft, too acidic. Maybe not enough calcium. Who knows?
I tell you, that's the ram's horns, and I don't know what you would call them. It looks like a seashell, like a conch. What are those? They got that really nice swirl to them.
Along with the rabbit snails?
No, it's like a conch. Not, it's kind of like that shell that you grab and like they blow into. It's like
the assassin snails.
No, but it's they're
not. Nearite.
No, even smaller. I don't think they're the pest snail. Maybe they are bladder snail. I don't know, but they in soft water they die a lot. But that's where I realized I was having a lot of problems was snail death. Well, reason being is I don't have plants. I just have moss. So when all these snails start dying, I have nothing that eats up the ammonia. The snails, the shrimp will eat the snails, but still, it's all that death that's in there. And if you don't get it out or something, you don't do a water change in time, man, it'll knock out your tank.
Right?
It's just horrible.
That's why if I ever treat my tank with Panacure C, and I have a lot of whether I have a lot of snails in there or not, I know it's going to wipe most of them out. But I also know that all of the dead carcasses of whatever Hydra or Planaria or even detritus worms that go by the wayside because of the Panacure C treatment, I'll do a water change once I'm done with the treatment to help pull out all of that ammonium, because I don't want to chance it especially if it's just a shrimp tank and there's not plants in there. If I have a lot of plants, but I still like to do a big water change after any kind of treatment because I like to get out any ammonia.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's
Hi Jess.
Panacure
Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Works really good. You just got to do that water change after like 3 days. I'm a 3-day guy. Well, at least I do it one day, then the next day, and then the third day around the time of when I did it. So if I did it like 8 o'clock, I'll wait till like 8, 9 o'clock, and then I'll do a water change. But I usually do a pretty good size water change. I'm around 40-50%, on the water changes to make sure, because I don't know how much is down in there.
Right.
So, and if you take your time, put it in slow, use your prime, stuff like that. If you don't get it all, the prime will help it. But just, keep an eye out for multiple dead snails, a lot of dead snails. If you get more in a few days, do another water change or something, but
yeah.
I
noticed that I kind of slack off on pulling out any stuff from my tanks,
Slack off on pulling out.
Yeah. Like pulling out like dead snails or, dying pieces of moss or plants and stuff. I know I should do more of that because that would help control that or keep from having a bunch of dead materials, whether it's plant life, snails, all the molts of the shrimp, depending on how many you have, all that stuff. If it just starts to decay, well, then you're going to get ammonia spike. And just trying to keep that to an insignificant amount is the biggest concern, I think.
Yeah, it's sometimes it'll creep you. It'll creep up on you, it's not like it's hard. It's not like we can't control it. But I think pre-planning is the important part, because that's where I've really run into problems myself. Was I didn't pre-plan. I look at a tank, I'm like, oh, that thing's great. Look at all the snails. Look at all the shrimp. Everyone's doing so good. It's so clean. And then I'm like, I'm going to cut back on meals so I'm not, getting the tank real nasty and everything, and not realizing I have more, I got to feed more than shrimp in there. And when I'm not feeding them, that's when the snails start to die. When the snails start to die, next thing you know, I turn around, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Where's everybody at?
Right.
And you don't even see dead bodies, they just go hide and they die in plants and moss. And next thing you know, your whole community's gone, and it's all from snails. I had to learn the hard way with that.
Well, something that I noticed in the past couple of days, the more and more that I watch my tanks, the tanks that I had cycling and recently, I noticed that there was planaria in a couple of the tanks. So it was interesting because to me, it looked like all of the shrimp were up on the matin filter and on top of any driftwood or mosses that I had in there. So the other tanks where there wasn't planaria, all the shrimp were on the substrate grazing around, having a good old time.
Yeah.
Something's echoing.
Huh?
Okay.
It's not me.
So I put no planaria in those two tanks. And then after I did that, a couple of days later, now all the shrimp are grazing. So I don't know if there's any correlation or connection to that the shrimp, if there's planaria in the tank, they get off of the substrate or not. But it was kind of weird to see it in both tanks and it be the same problem, and now it's gone.
Yeah, I notice they're like the lack of. It's like, where are they at? Where are the shrimp at? And then how I really know, seems like if I do a gravel vac or if I clean the sponges. I don't know what it is. If you squeeze out your sponges and then put them back on, there's something about what comes off of that or something, but the planaria just come out after you clean a sponge. So, I mean, it's fast too, because there's something off them sponges that they smell and they come up, they want it bad. So it's a good way to tell. And usually, like you're saying, yeah, if they're on the sponge, they're grazing, or there's stuff in the tank that is irritating them. Yeah, it could be planaria, because I've noticed it. And they put medicine in there. A couple days later, they're feeling better. But the best way to do that, no planaria, is to dissolve it first. Because I watched a thing where a guy said he kept putting a no planaria in. For some reason, it wouldn't go away. Well, what was happening is he didn't dissolve it first. So you got to dissolve it, stir it up, and then pour it in there. I've been doing that, and I've had really good luck since then.
Jess has planaria on two of hers, and the shrimp are on the substrate, but don't have matin filters. Yeah, possibly. I mean, like I said, I don't know if it matters or not. It's just something that I noticed in both those tanks, and after I treated them, now that both tanks, the shrimp are back to normal. Where's that coming from? That's got to be you, man. Yeah, it is. I see how you are. You're over there pushing buttons. It's not me, man.
No, I didn't say it wasn't me. I'm just bound and determined to get up and running.
Bound and determined to get that mic going, eh?
We'll get it running after. Yeah, it's it's a scary things like that. It's scary once in a while when it comes to what's in your tanks, things you can't see. I think I just watched a video the other day someone posted on YouTube. It was a shorter, it was on Facebook. It said, "Oh my gosh, watch the cherry shrimp's face." And it was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boop! Planaria's worms snuck out, and I was like, That's what happens. They get under their carapace there, and they just start stinging them. I don't know if I told you, but when I started breeding, I wanted to start breeding mystery snails. So I had a tank. I got a bunch. Put them in a 20 long, I think it was. I was feeding them. I was feeding them and everything, and then, I don't know. Things just didn't seem like they're going right. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not the guy for mystery snails. Well, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, because wait, what was in it? It was snails. Oh yeah. I went to look in the tank, and one of the big mystery snails had about 30 planaria on it, attacking it, stinging it, and it was going and I thought right then and there, I was like, okay, right there's the proof that they attack what's in the tank. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I got to hurry up. I got to put something in here to kill the planaria. Yeah, I put something in there to kill the planaria, and next day the whole tank was dead. Killed all the mystery snails. I think I had like 2 snails left. I said, yeah, okay, we're not doing this because this is going to take a lot of cleaning. Yeah, and you got to run a bare bottom if you're going to breed mystery snails and all that stuff. It would just be way too dirty. But when I seen that planaria attack it, that let me know right then and there what a shrimp's going through. So, it's,
somebody asked, where does planaria come from? And I think that's a great question, but I don't think it's something that we run across as much if we're fish keepers, because I believe the fish eat them. Yeah. So that's where I think when you're shrimp keeping and you have a shrimp only tank, then you have stuff that you don't normally see in the other tanks, like the seed shrimp and the scud shrimp and just the different planaria and detritus worms. And you'll see detritus worms when you do a water change in your fish tank. If it's all fish, you'll see them. They come out of the substrate when you do a water change, and they'll float around. The fish eat them up. But that's some of the things that shrimpers come across when they don't have fish in their tanks, is some of the other natural aquatic life that's out there. And I think the healthier the water is, the more you end up running across. Now, hydra and planaria do tend to hitchhike on mosses and plants and rocks and from your nets and, just different ways. But it's all part of the natural ecosystem that I just don't think you see in a fish tank, because the fish take care of them.
Yeah, they're pretty they're pretty potent little buggers, because you can chop that thing up, you can dice it in a ginsu, and it'll all grow back. All those pieces will grow back.
Yep.
So they even say don't try squashing them, don't try grabbing it. It's the only way to kill it is with the dewormer. I don't know if I've never noticed anything to where I've ever had any loss of shrimp at all with the Panicure or the other stuff. So I still use them. I sell it.
Yeah, I've never had any problems with it either, but I've always made sure that I did the correct dosage. So like a regular thing of Panacure C, 1 pouch. I'll put it in a 100 milliliter bottle and mix it in there, and then use 10 milliliters, and that's the right 2 gram per 10-gallon tank or whatever.
I use it's 1/10 of a gram. So I mean, I've gone I seriously, not with a scale, but I broke.
Well, that's what I don't want to have a scale. And why are you measuring out that white powder?
I've eyeballed it and broke it up into 10 parts.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And then I just go, okay, well, what would that actually come to? And it's kind of like a flat, an even spoon, like those the McDonald's spoons, the little plastic ones, the coffee stir spoons. It's like a flat spoon of that. So that's your 1/10 of a gram. And so you figure out a 1 gram, you can do it 10 times. So if you do, and some people say to do it, a couple times, maybe even 3 times. So if you do it on a Monday, do a water change, Wednesday, then put another spoon in, then, do a water change Friday. And then if you want, put another spoon in, and then do another water change Sunday, and you should be fine. And that should literally wipe everything out. But it's like, a McDonald's. That's what I do. I do a McDonald's coffee stir.
The only thing I would recommend if you ever do that is know that it also kills off your beneficial bacteria. So when you do your final water change and you're done doing with the treatment, after you do the water change the next day, add some bacteria. Whether it's the Brightwell stuff that the live bacteria that helps, that will really help the tank get back to normal as quick as possible, because it does shock the tank a little bit when you treat it.
Yeah, I just use the Fritz Syme 7 nitrifying live bacteria. I just dump that in there. I use this stuff if it's for Carradino tanks. I'll use the other live bacteria that I sell. But other than that, I don't really.
Which ones do you have? Which ones do you sell?
It's Blue Crowns.
Okay.
The live nitrifying bacteria.
Right.
Okay. The live nitrifying bacteria. I sell the GH Plus, the liquid. Hold on.
Oh man.
Yeah, I sell all that stuff. I'm a one-stop shop.
I'm jealous. I'm gonna have to get me some.
There you go. Here we go. I got it. So, yeah, I sell a whole bunch of stuff. For one, I sell no Planaria. I sell they're like in these little tin cans. They're really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. I sell an immune booster for shrimp.
Okay.
Immune booster gold. You can use it for fish too. Then I sell the liquid GH plus Remineralizer. The powders are good. There's nothing wrong with powders, but
I like the liquid.
This is a lot faster, and I can get really precise with this because I can go by the drop. I can't go by a drop when I do powder, so I can get my numbers wherever I want them, whenever I want them. And then I sell this. They usually come packaged like this, but I usually don't send them like that. Then this is the live nitrifying bacteria.
Nice.
Yeah, mud.
And these are available at motorcityaquatics.com.
Yep. All this stuff. Yes, sir.
But wait, there's more. If you order now.
Yeah, get it in before Thanksgiving ends. You can get 2 free shrimps. But yeah, they're 20. If you go on his website, they're more. Blue Crown sends it to me and allows me to sell them at a cheaper price to my customers because he helps out my stream. So these are only $25 a bottle. I was going to start breaking it up to where I could sell it in smaller amounts, lesser amounts and stuff, But this stuff cooks so much. The bottom of the bottle it's bending, it's warping because it gets so hard. It's $25 a bottle. This bottle lasts forever. I mean, it's 500 milliliters in each bottle. So one's filled up more than the other. So that's because the bottom of the bottle pushed out a little bit from pressure. But, because when you open it up, it smells like beer. It really does. But
right.
The stuff's incredible. It works really good. It works best with substrates that create ammonia when you start a tank because that ammonia, and when it comes in contact with that, it'll green up the walls real fast. I use it and do tanks in like 4 days, leave lights on them 24/7, put it together. It's 10 milliliters per 10 gallons. So, put 10 milliliters in there, or wait, is it 20? I think it might be 20. 20 milliliters per 10 gallons, squirt it in there, let it stir up, put lights on it. And if you don't have substrate like fluval, stratum, and stuff, all the stuff I have doesn't create ammonia, but I still don't have an issue. I let it run for 4 days. It's not, covered in green, but I throw them in there and it's always been great. So
you're supposed to replace those with Papa Shrimp stickers. Yeah. Oh, I mean Motor City Aquatic stickers.
What do you mean? You just keep.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be stepping all over you, Brian.
Oh, I'm a big guy. You can step places. Doesn't matter to me none. I ain't like that. Hey, I'm not all in my body about stuff. Nobody steps on me unless I get in their way.
But serious, man. Don't be talking like that on Turkey Day Eve.
Right. Hey, something that I'm saying that's a good thing. No one steps on me unless I get in the way. Hey, one thing I was thinking about, I'm not trying to derail the conversation, but I was thinking about it yesterday, and it's a real positive thing. Because I was at the pet store at my buddy's fish store, and there was a gentleman there. He's a union employee. I can't remember what he said he was, if he was a pipe fitter or something. I don't know. He had a really good job though. And we were talking and stuff, and he was talking about how, now I'm not going to make it political. He was just saying people in the government never want us to change. No matter who it is, they don't want us to change. They always want us to be, hateful toward each other. They never want race stuff to end. They never want any of that stuff to end. They want to keep us, so it's like top of the conversation. And then I started to realize, I was like, you know what? I don't see any of that in the hobby. No matter where I look, no matter what I've ever seen, no matter where I go, who I meet, it's like, everyone's like family.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've noticed that and you've seen it, but there's like no race in the hobby. I mean, seriously.
Now there's no race, there's no gender, there's no age discrimination of any kind. It's a one big happy family. I love it.
Yeah, it's
kind of cool. That's a good thing to point out, man.
Yeah, it's something big because it's it's constantly. It's like there's nothing to talk about in society, so they just talk about race, and it's always this, that, and the other. Now, look, at no time am I saying that there's not things done that are racially motivated. I am not saying that, but there's so many things these days that are brought up because there's nothing else to talk about. They don't have nothing else to talk about. But the thing is what I noticed is within this, I don't, it's you don't ever see that. You don't ever see. I've never seen like now.
Oh, wait a minute now. We got to go with, you got to start thinking, a little bit big picture, that there's those people that are like, oh, we don't like guppy people. We're cichlid people. And oh, we don't like cichlid people. We're killifish people.
Yeah.
And oh, I don't like fish at all. I like plants.
Well, there could be racism within fish. I don't like black fish. I like white fish. I like silverfish. I don't like white fish. I like
that's just fresh water. I'm salt water.
Yes. But
that's a fun type of separation or segregation or classification, whatever.
I just thought about
the subgenre of the hobby.
And I was thinking maybe that's why
Geek Boy just don't like people.
I think that's why maybe the hobby does so well. I could probably say most hobbies, at least that I've been in and that I still enjoy, you don't see that.
I think when people gather for the right reasons, for the love of what they're doing, all of that stuff gets left at the door for whatever reason.
Well, because there's no news at a hobby. We're not we're not playing the news. We're not playing who got shot by who and who jumped who and blah blah blah. And you don't hear any of that. Or hey, this happened to this person.
Then there's the sheep people. What do you do with them? What do you do with us? Well, we have fun, and we reset tanks, and we make mistakes, and we learn how to manage small aquariums very well. And that's one of the things that I think it does take practice, because smaller aquariums are harder. I think in general, they're harder to keep. So when you're good at keeping shrimp in multiple small environments, hey, there's something to be said about us shrimpers.
Yeah. We keep small happiness.
It's okay, Select Pat. I've been a drummer for like my entire life. So I'm just the guy that hangs out with the musicians, I've always been that way. So being a shrimper that hangs out with the real fish keepers, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, it's like the kid who just moved to town. Everybody's looking at you going, who's this? He doesn't fit in here. Look at his funny shoes. Look at the way his mother dresses him. That you're that guy when you show up, because you got these little things.
Salt looks down on tropical. Tropical looks down on cold water. Cold water looks down on shrimp. Right?
Hey,
Jay Oliver, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you get to eat way too much.
Oh yeah, well that's the whole thing, Slick Pat, to come on a stream and goof off and say goofy stuff. That's what it's all about. But I just didn't know if anybody's ever thought about that within the hobby. There's just you don't ever run into that racism. I mean, there might be some dislikes and stuff like that, but it's usually just jealousy over somebody having better, fish or this or that than the other person. You really don't. I've never heard of it. So, that's the cool part. I think if anything that I've seen is there are some personality clashes like there are in any social gathering. Right.
But other than that, other than sometimes, there's gossips and whispers and stuff, but I don't get caught up in that stuff. So I don't see anything really I just see a bunch of love and people loving what they do, especially like in Aquashellas. When you see that many people that are just there enjoying and loving what they're seeing and meeting people and talking nerdy fish stuff too, that's awesome. It's kind of like a big Comic-Con, everybody gets to nerd out in whatever their hobby is. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Thank you, Jimmy P. I appreciate that.
there's always there'll always be a naysayer, but if out of 100 people there's only one, then that's pretty darn good. You know, can never be in a perfect room. I'm sorry, but you can't. You know, you just, you know. But I was just saying, in my opinion, I think that's why I like the hobby as much as I do, because I can just come here and just all my stress just disappears because everyone's smiling, you know, or if somebody is coming in looking for maybe a pick me up because they had a bad day, you can help somebody or get helped, you know, just by tuning in. So it's pretty neat. Race and then trying to promote fish tubers of color. I made this thing, same people's skin color down.
I'm sure most of us are getting up early to start doing stuff. I remember when I used to wake up like in the 3 o'clock in the morning, had to start getting the turkey ready because that's what my parents always did. And then I realized it doesn't take that damn long. Why did they have to do all that stuff?
Well, because the turkey takes a long time to cook, but I don't get up. That's what I got married for. Shit.
No, it doesn't take that long, really, if you do it right. I mean, I got a 15-pound turkey, so I'm looking at about 3.5 to 4 hours.
You're wanting some leftovers, huh, son?
It was the smallest one I could find. And
yeah,
that's what I got. I didn't want to get like a 25-pound turkey, which most of them were up in the 20s.
Yeah, I got mine for free at my union meeting. So then the Christmas one, they'll give a free ham. I can't stand ham.
Nerds. Yeah, we are a bunch of nerds.
Yeah. Hey, I used to think being a nerd was a bad thing. Now it's a cool thing. If you ain't a nerd.
I've always been a nerd. Again, I was a drummer. I was in band. So I did all that stuff in school, marching band. So, and then I was like I was a smart kid. I graduated when I was 16. So, of course, being a studious, nerdy band guy. Hey, Todd, wash your hands.
He said, I picture Ogre yelling nerds.
Nerds. But I don't mind being a nerd. Screw it.
No. But that's the whole thing is like growing up, you know, everybody used to.
Hey, Grant, happy Thanksgiving.
You know, talk stuff about it.
And Shelby, probably. Both of y'all.
And the thing is they're the cool one. I mean, they're the ones that did all the cool stuff when you hung around with people who said that they were cool. They always did boring stuff and they weren't fun. But you hang around some nerds, you're like, wait a minute, I like that game. I play that game. Where'd you get all these games? You know, and they got all these cool video games and stuff. You go to the other dude's house, he's wanting to smoke cigarettes and play, you know, outside and you know, doing dumb stuff, hanging out.
Let's throw a football around, bro.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Hey, let's go throw a football around. What? Dude, it's like you know, it's like pouring rain outside. What else do you got to do?
Right. Select Pat said it right. You know, all us nerds end up being the bosses. I mean, think about it. Back in the day, all those D&D nerds everybody made fun of. Now they're the computer programmers and you know, hackers that rule the world.
Oh yeah, Garden of Eater, what's up? Sorry, I didn't say Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm
so excited. Tomorrow's going to be a good day. I'm waking up not so early, but I'm getting everything going probably about 9:30ish. It depends on the weather because I have to cook next door, and next door is about 200 feet, 300 feet away, maybe more. I don't know. But I got to walk over to next door to do all the cooking. I already took the food over, but it's supposed to have a cold front come in tonight, and then it's supposed to be raining. So I might have to drive around the driveways to go there if it's raining.
Lumpy Dog said when he was young and at summer camp, he said his cabin mates used to call him Ogilvy from Bad News Bears. Nerd plus.
Cool deal, Grant. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. I know it's kind of a Thanksgiving Eve, so everybody's hanging out with the family and folks and stuff. But
I ain't never seen Grant in my stream, so he better tighten up because I'm always in his. You know what I was just thinking with a lot of stuff that Grant does and stuff is what would be fun is to do a Florida shrimp bowl. You know, if you ever seen, you know, when the holidays they have football and they have all the dogs, the puppies running around and stuff.
Right.
What if he made a little miniature football field, put shrimp in there? That would be cool. I mean, pick the teams. You know,
right. He's got enough colors.
That's what I'm saying. You know, you could try to do it at least. You know, that'd be cool. But
there you go, Grant. That's a video idea.
Florida Shrimp Bowl.
When are you going to get as many shrimp as Grant? I'm working on it, Joseph. I'm working on it.
When he moves to Florida.
That's why I'm building a facility. My facility is going to be huge. I have big dreams. I have big goals. So this thing isn't going to be some little bitty thing. It's going to be huge. I will have thousands. And you know, I hope to be able to supply most of the Southwest region well with shrimp that I get from my place.
Well, if you do get on that, Grant, holler at me. I'll find a way to come to Florida and put it together with you, all three of us.
Right. That'd be fun if we did a collab.
That'd be badass. Well, they do the puppy thing.
Pick the shrimp that we're going to put on our teams and then put them in a competition and tournament.
Yeah. hey, and the football could be a little piece of food, you know, where they're all, you know, how when the guy gets it and they all jump on a tackle.
And he runs away with the piece.
Yeah. Be like, there he goes, get him. Yeah, that'd be. Hey, and then how you could piece it, you know, then wait a little while, then like, you know, little food, you know, so it'll disappear quick, and then put like some over here. And once one takes off, be like, he's going for the pass, he's going deep, you know, and then, you know, also
it's got like what, 8,000 gallons.
Yeah, well, that's
if you figure all the tubs that he's got. What are they, 250 gallon each?
Yeah, 2 or 350. I remember when I started watching Grant, he was he just started in his greenhouse.
Right.
And it was like, I think the 1 year, I don't think he had plastic, but he started, and then I don't know if he had I don't think he had mosquito problems. I think something went on, but then the next year he did even more, and he was cutting those tubs, and then the next year he started in his yard, and then more in the yard, and then back 40, and he's got more plastic.
6,000 gallons? Holy crap.
In total, yeah. I think I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
You can do ponds all day long, but you got to take them down. He doesn't have to take his ponds.
Right.
If the weather doesn't get too bad, I mean, he can hold on to stock for years and years and just keep going.
Right.
That's what really puts him above the rest. I mean, think about it. If he doesn't have to import, but just get his initial stock,
right,
he's good to go for years. Can you imagine? I mean, us working in these 10 gallons to compare to a 250 or 350 gallon tank that you put 10 shrimp in. Then they start having babies. Holy crap! You would have to do a water change once a year. I mean, just the evaporation would be enough, you know. So he's got a really good setup. Fish Tropic, what's up?
Well, I'm thinking that when I upgrade and build my place over there, that's one of the things that I'm definitely going to get. I'm going to try to get away from my main tank being a 10-gallon tank and make them 20 longs. I don't want to go too much bigger than 20 longs because I don't want a deep tank. I don't think with shrimp that deep tanks are really, it's a pain in the butt to catch shrimp and do maintenance and blah, blah, blah on a deep tank. So I think the 20 long is perfect almost for shrimp. And even if you put dividers to cut them up, break them up for breeding projects and stuff like that, I think it's a good size.
He said his garage has got 30 brand new tanks ready to set up. He says his pool is 16,000 gallons with shrimp, koi, and turtles. So I count it. I sell like 2,000 wilds out of the hot tub every year. We should just change them from Garden of Eden to Jurassic Park. I mean,
okay, that makes sense.
You sell shrimp out of your hot tub? Wow, hey, you just lay in there and they just clean you, and they take a call. Oh, you need some oranges? Hold on, grab your net and just scoop down in
Well,
your.
that's like that short video that I did showing the pool that's next door and the property that I'm gonna clear out and build my place at. It's a big giant above ground pool. I don't know how many gallons, but it's.
Oh yeah, you showed me that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do something with that, and that'd be kind of the same thing, but I'd have to build it inside an enclosure because I think in the wintertime there's no way anything out here would do well. My buddy's pond that he has outside, we're just now we noticed all the guppies are dead. They died out because there's no heater in it, but the goldfish are doing well.
Grant would probably be, I don't know if he'd be interested, but predatory fins in Florida is moving, and he's selling some big ass and some good sized tanks. I mean, some stuff that'd be really hard to come by. And I don't know how far he is away from Grant, but he's breaking his whole little store up and only taking certain stuff with him. I'd love to get my hands on some of these tanks. They're so incredible looking, it's just like hundreds of gallons, and that'd be cool. 20 longs is what I have for the shrimp room. Yeah, Joe, 20 longs are sweet. You could really pack a lot of shrimp in a 20 long.
Yeah, I just like them because they're not so like 20 talls are too tall for me, but they're good for tall plants if you're trying to grow out tall plants. So, there's a give and take, but that's where if I go to something else, I go to the 29-gallon tank because it fits on the same rack as a 20-gallon long. Yeah, they're all the same length, the same lights, everything. So I like the 29-gallon. That's the next one that I like. And then, of course, I like the 40 beaters just for some grow out tanks and stuff like that. But I'm just going to worry mainly about.
Hey, Grant. Sorry.
Later, Grant. Thanks for coming on. Peace. Happy Shrimpsgiving. Did you notice in my thumbnail how I'm looking at a turkey in the aquarium?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I was glancing through it.
I was having fun with that.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's fun to play around with stuff like that. I was trying to come up with an idea for the thumbnail, and I was like, "Ooh, that'll be fun. I'll just put a turkey inside the aquarium."
Thanksgiving snuck up on us.
You can't what?
I said, I can't believe how fast Thanksgiving snuck up on us.
Oh, I know, man. Pretty soon it's going to be New Year's, and we're going to be looking at 2022 going, oh, crap, Aquashella's next week.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, yeah. Thanksgiving's next. It seemed like I just went 3 days ago to my union meeting, go get the turkey. And, now I have a day to get paperwork done to get to my new job at the nuclear power plant. And it's like, everything's moving so fast. I'm relaxing so much. And now I'm like, oh, man, I got to put it into overdrive.
Well, hey, if anybody's interested, and if you hadn't seen the post, I do have shrimp available online at Stock My Tank. So in the community post, you should be able to find it. If you go to my page, you can find it on the community tab where it shows the link to Stock My Tank store. And I got shrimp on there. I'm still putting in more information and getting all of the description and all that, the meta tags and blah, 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 all that background stuff taken care of. But go check it out on Stock My Tank. The Neos, I have Blue Dreams, Fire Reds, and Orange Sunkissed right now for Neos. I also have a couple of Cherry, but not enough to sell. So on the site, though, I do have the Neos, the Orange Sunkissed, and the Fire Reds. And then the Carradinos, all the shrimp that I did on the video last week on the unboxing, that's what I have posted on the website. So they're all good to go. They look good. I can't wait to get them in other people's tanks and get some more in my tanks. Right? Todd's already into watching some of these streams, so now he wants to get into getting the aquarium. Ha ha! Yes.
Yeah, we're doing our job.
Fish influence or shrimp influence. Brian, can we get a dough?
Dough.
Why, you little? You want Jess's pumpkin? I have Jess's pumpkin. That sounds so bad, but good thing it's Thanksgiving. The orange pumpkin, orange sunkiss, same difference, whatever. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Joseph. They are pretty. She won awards with those things. I don't blame you, but I got some of them too. I think they were the culls from those, though. I don't think they were the competition shrimp. I think they were the culls. She told me afterwards because she couldn't tell me before the competition since I was a judge.
Can you hear me?
You're still messing with that thing. Oh my goodness.
Can you hear me?
You just want to look like a pro with that thing hanging there. That's all it is. I get it.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Oh, really? I think
there it is.
I think I fixed it. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Huh?
Yep.
Check.
Yeah, you got to put your mouth real close to it. Kind of angle it like this.
Hey, no way, dude. I'm telling you, them other ones look like big penises that you got in front of your face. I'm not doing it, dude. I'm telling you. Hey, now look.
You have mic envy.
That's well, it's not that. It's the stuff is really nice. I mean, it's really high tech equipment. It's really cool. You know, for anyone that doesn't know, I got the Yeti X yesterday, and it was cool. I was hoping that if I did a little practice stream with it, it didn't look like a big member. It looked like a big member. So I don't want that around my mouth. It's creepy. So I had actually did with Papa Shrimp. He was kind enough to spend like 10 minutes with me so I could check it out and everything. I actually checked this one out, but I guess I hit wrong button. But it's so I took it back, and then the Best Buy that I went to, they told me about this one and about how nice it was, but they didn't have it. So I had to go to another one that was like a half hour away. They had it. And then I got this boom.
Yeah, and then you hung up on me.
Huh?
Hey,
I didn't hang up on you. You hung up on me.
No. I was like, where'd you go, man? And stopped talking. And then you came back and you said, oh, wait, no left turns. Click.
Hey, that's what happens when you Facebook call somebody. I Facebook called you guys, so I didn't. I was on Facebook. I punched because we weren't friends on Facebook, so I saw that. So I sent him a message saying, "Hey, we need to be friends on Facebook." You know, more or less, I was trying to beg him, because he's super cool, and I want to get into the Facebook thing, and so I asked him. He said yes, and so I called him on there, and we were just talking. I was telling him about stuff, and what if Tropic says liar? Fishy 64. Hey, didn't he get didn't somebody say that he I don't know, he got
hey, yes.
I don't know. S Papa don't preach up. Fish Tropic's a little slow today. He said LOL, good girl. He's not putting in all of his Papa don't preach. Oh, Brian, can we get it? Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I was just so does this sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, okay, good. It was a lot cheaper, so I wanted to go cheaper, but I needed this boom arm. That's when my wife came down and said something about, made a comment about, being a big time radio guy or something. I'm serious. I have a thing with that. And look, they got a nice one. If anyone's looking, they have at Best Buy, it's Shure, SHURE, and it's a mic, and it's high quality. And they have that there, and it's nice. But all this stuff, I have a very small table in front, very small. And so I to put something on it or around it, it was too much. So I knew I needed a boom arm. And all this stuff is real expensive. You need those boxes and stuff. So this one here, I guess the company's been around a long time, but they just came out with the mic. And more or less, I'll show it to you. It is the Wave 3.
Nice.
It's got a little stand if you want to do it on your desk. But, you know, they do everything for gaming, streaming.
Oh,
you know,
cool.
this isn't, they do this box right here. I guess you can turn on turn on multiple cameras in your room. You know, like if you're sitting there and you want to click on it, you hit a button, it'll turn this one on over here, all sorts of stuff.
It's like what we had at Aquashella.
Yeah. But they said that this stuff is, this company's been around a long time. El Gato, Senor Dangato was a cat.
Oh, wait, wrong.
Right. But they said they've been around. And I was like, well, you know, what's the quality of it? And I didn't really handle it at store because it's in a case. I went and get it out of it. It's like solid steel. It's heavy. It's not as heavy as a 3-pound Yeti X, but it's pretty heavy and it's nice. So it was actually not so nice when I've been trying to get it to work for the past 50 minutes and I couldn't until I realized that there was a button that had a line through the volume and I was like, mother food.
Good job. Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, I also have a 20% discount on my site. You're frozen. You got a funny face. I need to take a picture. Oh, it broke.
You said I got a funny face?
You were stuck in a funny face.
Another funny one? It took me a lot of years to be able to do that, be able to make fun of myself. I'm just saying. So 20% off you got on your website?
Yeah, right now until November 30th, which is next Wednesday.
So is that is it just livestock that you have? Do you have any dry?
Yeah, right now it's just livestock. I need to put some Java moss and guppy grass and wassertang and all that stuff on there too. But right now I got all the livestock in there for all the shrimp. I don't have any fish yet on the site. I'm waiting for my fry to grow out and stuff, but I'll be adding more as we go on. It's just nice to finally get to that point. Oh wow, it's raining. But no, I can't hear you anymore. You disappeared.
What are you looking at?
It's raining, man. It sounds weird. I got a metal roof.
He's seeing things, everybody.
Oh look, Joseph screenshotted your face. Email it to me at papashrimpaquatics@gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Hey, Alan Tooth 48. What's going on, my dentist apprentice?
See, he said that face is funny.
I got a lot of them. He said I screenshot his face.
Well, it was kind of, you were stuck in that position.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. So it's just now, if somebody wants plants or mosses from you, will you be able to fill something like that? I mean, you will be able to sell them that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So just because you don't have it on the website right now does not mean, so more or less anyone who contacts you for something, they should ask a bunch of questions about stuff that they would like before they just say, oh, well, is this all he's got? Well, no, just ask because he probably got it. It's just not on the website yet.
Yeah. Hey, you're all right, man. I like you.
Well, my website don't work for shit. And everyone asks me, hey, you got this? I'm like, yeah. You know, I'll spend money on all this microphone shit, but I won't fix my website. Like, you see where my thoughts rest at. I don't know.
Your priorities are a little askew.
Yeah, but this is where I have fun. I don't have fun on a website. This is where like I said, hey, when this all started, Papa Shrimp, you know, I'm not gonna lie, this was all about money. This is all about selling, money. I'm gonna get rich in a day. I'm gonna get to 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and I'll never have to work again. I'll be able to open up all these toys with my son. just like these other people do. Well, guess what? I don't fit in that niche because I'm just not them, or I was not in the right place at the right time. So maybe one day I'll be in the right place at the right time. But until then, my thoughts have changed to where I just want to have a lot of fun. I want to have people bring, my trials and tribulations to everyone of what I learned and what I still learn every day. And I think that's what me and you chose to do, putting this together, because more than I do. So it's good to do that. And then, we have our own little things that we do, but it's just, if I sell shrimp, I sell shrimp. But other than that, it's just not about that anymore. I just have a blast doing it. So when it comes to the website, I know I pay for it, but it is what it is, bro.
Right.
Hey, friend me on Facebook. My number's on there. You can call me all day and order as many shrimp as you want. That's all there is to it. But,
hey, man, don't be ganking my customers.
I'd never gank a customer.
No, it's a big ass pie, man. Hey, I want everybody to eat from
I got a new mic. You know how many customers I'm going to take yours? How many customers you got now?
0.
Oh, shit. I'm going to be killing it. Woo! Woo!
Well, one day I will have 1, and then that will double to 2.
Hey, it only takes
so
one.
on and so on.
It only takes one because that was the most important.
It's like the shampoo. And they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and so
it's
on.
It's the pyramid. It's a pyramid thing, but that was the most important one. Gosh, and if you ask me who my first, who was my first customer? I feel really bad about that because I should have kept that close.
I lied. Priscilla, I believe Priscilla was one of my first customers. Since she bought my Nancy fry. And then I had sold a couple of orders of Neos before my house fire. So I had customers back in the day, a couple of them. But it's taken me forever to get back to where I am. I'm just glad I'm here. I'm glad that I got my website up. I'm excited. So, hey, I'm just glad that everybody has options. That's one of the things about I wanted to make sure I said about tonight and what I have to be thankful for. And I'm glad to be a part of everybody's options in the shrimp community now, whether they can get it from me or not. Maybe I don't have it yet, but you can get it at Joe's, you can get it at yours, or you can go to Eric or Meadowview or Flip, or, there is various options, and we're all getting better and getting more product availability out to the hobbyists. So that's the main thing, continue to foster the hobby and grow it. And it's a big enough pie. I just want a little piece.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know that,
ass pie is not on your table, Joseph. Damn.
just that
you're missing out, bro.
It's not Harry.
Don't turn this into ladies' night. Sorry, Dee Dee.
Saved ass pie. Isn't that bad, I would think, but
Alan asked if either one of us have blue Acara tigers. I don't.
Do either of you have blue Acara?
I have one.
Yeah, I got blue Acaras. Yeah,
I have one that I'm using in a breeding project.
Yeah, I got blue Acaras. Yep. I got all the little goodies. I've been waiting for those to explode. My black Calcio have not stopped. There's so many blue Dragon Blood blues in there right now. It's like holy snikes. So
yeah, I want to get me some Dragon Blood blues. I want to have a tank of those.
But here's the thing: is they're
expensive though. Even
my Dragon Blood blues are in a tank all by themselves, and for some reason, I don't know if they're bred from just Dragon Blood blues, but they never produced anything but a Dragon Blood blue. Now my black dragons, my black Calcios, they produce the blue ones. So I probably be inclined to sell those a little cheaper to people I know, just because they come from the blacks, and I don't know what they'll produce, but they're beautiful blue. God, they're small and they're beautiful blue. But so I do have those. Now I don't know, Alan. I'm waiting for them to breed right now. I've been waiting for them for a while now. I don't know if they've bred yet. I haven't seen any in there, but I haven't stirred up in there. But the black
DD, huh?
But back to what we were talking about. I think the biggest thing and what helped me out was when I had somebody buy my shrimp and my products and stuff. They did an opening, and then every once in a while they would talk about how the shrimp are doing, all this and that. So I think that's what helped me along in the beginning. Then I had people like Fish Tropic has sent people to me. Fish Tropic's one of my moderators, and don't try stealing Papa Shrimp. He's mine. But hey, he's on a few. But I have a Tropic as a moderator when Tropic's not busy, because he's an avid fisherman. But he's not just he's not just some dude with a tank. He's got a lot of tanks that have been running for a long time, but he fishes, he videos it. I mean, the guy, him alone has a lot of content. And then when he goes on these long rants, it's a lot of good content. But having him in your streams and having him as a moderator, it's just for future reference. He's he helps drive people toward you, and right. It's a big deal. A lot of the moderators out there that I have do that, but it's just like Alan Tooth, he's bought for me. So many people in here have bought for me,
right.
But they speak on it. So if for some reason maybe they bought something from you, they may be able to speak on it, but it's the word of mouth and it's the trust. That was the biggest thing that I think I had to earn from everybody, was the trust, because they, like I said before, they didn't know who I was. They didn't know nothing about me. So when you're ordering $300 worth of shrimp and you just send it to me, you're like, oh my God, I hope he sends me my stuff. Even though you send through PayPal and you're covered, that's a big step for somebody to take on a nobody. So even though you are Papa Shrimp, maybe there's a ton of people that never dealt with you before, but I would say, look, I've done stuff with Papa Shrimp, so I can vouch that he is 100% trustworthy, So if you want to sell him or send him your retirement, I don't know if that would be wise, but you could probably send him a good $200-300 and not have any worry. But yeah, but I think
$300 is my retirement.
Damn, you already got that. What, you got an old bear den you're moving into?
No, actually, most of my retirement income that I had stowed away kind of perished along with the house and the fire. So
yeah, that's another terrible thing I feel bad about. I don't want to say feel bad for you, but the things that have happened, I feel bad about, because I'm sure you had stuff that, may not have been worth $10,000, but, mentally, something that you're attached to, you lost that could have been worth $1 million that was worth $1, and then stuff that, your children's stuff, they're away at school and stuff, and that you lose all that stuff,
memories.
Yeah. But stuff that they had, who knows, maybe, let's just say he had a $200 watch in there that he only wears when he comes home and goes out with his dad or something, or his dad bought for him, gone, and it's like, as a child building stuff up and collecting stuff and, keeping stuff. Now he lost all that. You lost all your stuff. I mean, not for nothing, but I don't know how many people don't keep some kind of area in their home that has like backup money, emergency money. So is that the first thing you run for? No. I mean, you want to make sure you're out of the house and, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just I couldn't even put myself in your shoes, so.
Yeah, it's been crazy, but I'm thankful. Again, I love where I'm at. Could it be better? Oh, heck yeah, it could be better. But man, my son is healthy. He's gotten accepted to all of the colleges he has applied to. So that's he didn't even realize it. He got the first acceptance letter and he was all like, "Yeah, I got into the college I wanted." And then we got the two others and he was like, "Oh, well, cool. Now what do I do?" But
So,
you
but
know,
do you write that up as he's blessed?
oh, definitely.
You know, it's like we look at it. If you know, if something bad happens to you, it's terrible that it happens. But you know, we hope that after that bad happens, that the good happens, and you know, it's it's very valuable. I mean, for him to be accepted to 3 schools, some kids can't get past just one school. So,
Right.
you
And
know,
one of them offered the first one offered him three-quarter scholarship. So it's basically um,
he's got
just
to
a
pay for his
few
lunches.
more. If they take his SAT score and he gets really good grades at the rest of this year, I'm sure he'll end up getting a full ride. So that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
You
yeah,
know, that's wow.
it's
You
karma.
know,
That's why I always preach that in this household we believe in karma so much because we believe if you treat people bad or if you're mean to people or you know, I mean, you don't have to go out of your way to be nice to nobody, but you know, if there's something in there that you know you don't do, then it'll come back around. You know, but if you're someone that's good, it'll come back around. So,
well, I don't have any green jades, so
but
he
he said,
wins.
price war here now. Both your prices for 10 green jade shrimp shipped to California. Go get my business for 10 of them. $60. I'll do $7 shipping.
What they're asking about heat packs too.
I got heat packs. What's
I
it?
normally don't, but I'm if depends on where I'm shipping. If it's gonna go, I mean, I have everything listed right now on either 1 or 3 day or overnight. And in my preference, it's always overnight. So I don't really see the need for it overnight unless it's
Oh yeah, there is.
5 degrees outside, if from where I'm shipping it and where it's going. So
Yeah, they usually say uh, if you're low and your highs are not both around freezing, then you'd be all right. I look at it and I just think, you know, if the low's 32 or or below, I mean, it doesn't hurt to put a heat pack in. I have 72-hour heat packs that I have just in case somebody says I want shrimp, no matter how cold it is outside, I want shrimp, and they'll take that chance. I have a 72-hour heat pack to get it to them and to make them happy. I don't know what they want it for. Maybe it's a birthday, maybe it's anything, or maybe they just want them because they're like me. I have that heat pack, and then you just had as cold as it is. I mean, those things go up to like 115 degrees, but you know,
your
uh,
GH is 25 to 50 ish.
but that's all you need. If it gets really cold, you can use them.
Yeah, I haven't seen the need for them yet. Now, if it was, winter apocalypse like last year here, then yeah.
What's it?
Whoa. um,
What? Worth lays in the quality of the man or woman, or they cry, or does that die? Overnight to Montana is still 2 days. Arrive on third day sucks.
oh, really? Even UPS overnight? Next day air or whatever it is?
Right to Montana is still 2 days. Well, a lot of times where I find out, or like Washington, I think it's Washington. Washington takes longer and it costs way more because it's so far up there. They want a lot. Um, And it's really weird. It's like, all right, whatever. But
Right.
yeah, I think Washington's my most expensive. Or Hawaii. Hawaii doesn't even cost as much as Washington. It's really weird.
That's funny. Well, if it was something like that, and I'm shipping to Montana, and it's frigid temperatures, and Arctic cold fronts blowing through the north, then yeah, I'd put a heat pack in it definitely. But usually the insulation, the wrapping, everything that you put in the box, I don't see it really getting that bad. But you never know. I mean, I've never shipped in that situation, so how can I speak of it?
Well, then don't.
But if there's no overnight available, yeah, definitely I'd put a heat pack, especially if the temperature warrants it. Just like I would put a cold pack if the temperatures warranted it in the heat of summer, and I'm shipping at triple-digit temperatures out of here to another place that's triple digits, like Arizona or something.
People kill me when I've ordered some. I've ordered. I won't even. I'm not even going to say who because they still do it. But people kill me. They'll take a piece of plastic or something, fill it up with water, wrap something around it, and then they'll freeze it, and then they put it in there. Water doesn't stay frozen, but for minutes at all. We all know you go outside in the summer with some ice cubes in a drink or put it on the ground, it melts fast. So you got to use what I use is I use the food grade freeze packs for food, shipping food, and they're like gel inside and they're reusable. They're really cheap. You get them from Uline, and you can ship them all day. And I have them. I don't know. They're kind of small, maybe a 2x4, and you can throw 3-4 of them in there. It doesn't matter. You put handfuls of them in your freezer, pull some out, throw them in there, but they're the gel, so they stay cooler longer. And then, I mean, it really sounds lame, but when they get to the customer, now that customer has something to use me for their lunchbox, going on camping, anything, they can use these things because they're brand new. They've never been touched. They were just frozen once, and you can do it over, and they're by Uline, so they're top of the line stuff.
How cold is it up there in Montana right now? Is it subarctic weathers already?
Frigid as a horse's nuts on a winter morning. Yeah, let me get one. I'll show you.
Yeah, I use RO, Joseph, also for my Neo Carradino sometimes. Because I run well water. So lots of times I just like having the control of knowing that I'm starting from scratch, and then I can add for my Neos the GH plus KH, and for my Carradinos I just use the GH plus. But and then when I was in Arkansas, the water there was terribly soft where I was from. And it was like 60 TDS coming out of the tap. So I had to use the RO water to make it easier to clear out all the chloramines and chlorines that they used, and then start from scratch so I could get the water to where I wanted to. And what really worked in that part of the Arkansas that I was from, those wonder shells. The wonder shells in the water for the Neo Carradinos and the guppies and endlers and every other fish were wonderful for the water that I had there in Arkansas. At least the area that I was in.
He said Arkansas twice. Did you say Arkansas Dave Rudenbaugh? No?
No, it was Pine Bluff.
Oh, I'm saying, do you know Arkansas Dave Rudenbaugh? You never watched that movie? Wide Earp? Arkansas Dave Rudenbaugh?
No.
Oh, yeah, Wide Earp. All right, here's the little ones.
Wait, well, let's see. It was 9 degrees yesterday morning, definitely freezing now. Yeah, I'd probably wait a little bit, especially right now through the holidays, Richard. With the holiday shipping,
cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. Yeah, you'd have to put whatever right on the heat packs, because this is what I use. These big boys are 72 plus hours
Right.
uniheats. That right there will make your ball sack sweat. And then for the cold, I have these. I think they're 2x4s. These ice bricks by Uline, and then I have the really large ones. It's all gel.
Yeah.
You know, these are, I think, 4x4 or 5x5 or something, 5x6s. But that's what I use. But these 72-hour ones, I mean, they even have pictures of animals and plants and stuff. But reliable, steady heat release for 72 hours.
Your ball sacks never sweat, Dee. Well, that's good.
Well,
what
then
kind of balls do you
this
have? Footballs, basketballs?
Perfect for you, Dee. If your ball sacks don't sweat, this is perfect for you.
It's going down to 55 tonight there in Tampa. We're supposed to get some kind of cold front coming in, and it's supposed to be all cold and miserable tomorrow. So here in North Texas, that's what we're expecting.
Wow, ain't that something too in Texas? You guys are going to be cold. That's crazy.
Right? Well, it was crazy because like 2 nights ago, I had the heaters on and needed the heaters because it was very, very cold. And then today I had to pop on the AC for a little bit because it was all humid and
what?
Yes.
Well, what was the temp out? 60 something?
I never looked. It was probably high 60s, low 70s, but it was humid.
Humidity and 60% makes it feel so bad.
Yeah, it was nasty. It's the great sky, you know, the cloudy look. It just
Yeah, we're going down to 33 Friday, a high of 23. How you like that?
Do I get snow here in North Texas? Sometimes. Like last year was crazy how much actual snow. But the only other time that I've seen snow, it's always once a year at least we get one freeze, black ice, or sleet, and just ice. It sleets ice water, little ice balls. It's crazy. We get snow. The last time we got snow was like in 2013 after we had in December, and it shut the area down for like 4 days. It was horrible. We had like 6 to 8 inches of ice on the roads, and there was a little bit of snow in there. And then 2013 or 11, I think, the Super Bowl, whenever the Super Bowl happened here, we got hit hard with actual snow. There was like a foot of snow on the ground. Did they ever fix the power from last winter's outage in Texas? You know, who knows? I know they tried to, but I guess we're going to find out this year, supposedly. It's supposed to be. Yeah, I do have a generator. We actually have an electrical house out here on the property that if the electricity goes out, it automatically kicks on and it'll power up a small city. So everybody in this grid will have electricity.
Who on here thinks that a 32-gallon what's those tanks called with the lids that come on them? You know, the big 32, they're real expensive and the lights are all in them and everything. BioCube. Is that BioCube?
Yeah, the BioCubes.
Yeah, BioCube. Here's one here, 32-gallon BioCube for $75, and it wasn't used for salt water.
Wow. Okay, Dee Dee's asking, what are the parameters that are best for Neos? If it's me, Dee Dee, Brian might say something different, but I'm running at about 7 to 7.5 pH. I like it at around 250 to 300 on the TDS, about 8 to 10 on the GH, with about a 3 to 4 on the KH.
I run a 7.2 pH. This is what comes out of my tap, a 7.2 pH. I don't change anything. They get my tap water. 6, right around a 6 GH, 3 to 4 KH. KH, GH, pH. And TDS is around. It's colder outside, so it went up. So I think I'm around 125 now from 102. But that's what I run. But that's what I'm saying. They can go down as low as my stuff up to, and that's why I never comment on what it can go up to, like what it can go up to on. I think my son's home. What it can go up to someone's water, like Papa Shrimps. I don't know because I don't have that water. So
yeah. And it's just like I've successfully bred neos in tanks with active substrate, and I didn't treat them any differently really than Carradino, other than I just used regular tap water instead of RO water because I had such hard water that the fluval that I was using in my shrimp tanks for neos was only knocking it down to about 7. Is there a product that gets RO to these levels? Yes. Brian showed you one of them. That's the GH Plus for the Carradinos that you can remineralize your water and get it up to the right TDS and GH. And then there's also another GH Plus KH. I don't know if Brian has the GH KH.
No, it's I'm not gonna lie. If I choose to do a GHKH, I mean the store down the street from me sells Brightwell. So I mean, what do I care? It's just minerals,
Yeah.
And you can add it right to tap water. So if you need more to your tap water, you can add it. And if you need less, all you got to do is add RO or distilled water to dilute it to make it smoother. Because like most people know that come on this channel, they know that I breed discus. Well, my breeding pair over here, I didn't realize the TDS was like super, super high. So I just diluted the crap out of it with RO water. So I was taking water out as I was putting water in. I dropped it all the way down to 104, and they laid about 200 eggs. So hopefully it goes good. But you want to dilute anything, just when you dilute it, just make sure you check your pH, check your GH, check your KH, stuff like that. If you're going to do the tap water, if your stuff's like way too high and you're scared, that's more than it's wise to do that instead of just throwing it in and going, well, let's see if they can live in my water, because then from there you can just start doing water changes with your tap water and build them up to that. So if you call Papa Shrimp and say, hey, what's your water parameters? He says my TDS is 220. Well, let's say your TDS is 340. If you drop your water parameters, your TDS down to 220, you get his shrimp, put them in your tank, and then start every water change from there on out. You use your tap water, it'll raise it, and slowly they'll be brought up and they'll all live and they'll be happy. It's when people just chuck stuff in and go, oh, well, they'll live. That's when accidents can happen. So,
and then Alan Tooth asked, are the Blue Tiger shrimp, are they in tap water or Carradino water? Yours are probably in Carradino water, right?
My orange eye blue tigers are all in Carradino water. And my orange eye royal blue tigers are all in Carradino water. I keep everything in the water it's supposed to go into. You want to change the water, go ahead. You can change the water out of shrimp. But the thing is like I tell people, if I have a tank of orange eye blue tigers, and then everyone says, hey, how come you don't have them in tap water? Well, that means now I have to have 2 tanks of the same shrimp. So I'll keep them in RO water. And when you get them, if you want to put them in tap water, all you got to do is drip them. Drip them for, a few hours, but it's all you got to do is drip them slowly. And by the end of the night, they'll be dripped into tap water. You put them in, there you go. It's
yes,
easy.
Joseph, they do have some called shrimp salts. The Salty Bee, that's a good example of the GH Plus. And actually, yeah.
Yeah. So you got the good stuff. That's the GH Plus, yeah. And then they have the GHKH. But for the GHKH, you don't have to follow me, but your Remineralizer, here's Remineralized Mineral Balance, by Brightwell. I mean, and purified RODI and soft water for all freshwater and planted aquaria. I mean, there you go. And you just scoop it out. it doesn't say it's for shrimp, but guess what? It's minerals, but just don't use it on your Carradina. Use just a GH plus, but use this. I mean, you can use this, you can use that stuff. The shrimp salts that say GHKH plus. There's a lot of stuff you can use. You can use the wastewater on your RO, man. You can use all that good stuff.
Alan Tooth, I don't think that there's a real big distinction on breeding better in one type of water or the other, especially with the tigers that can go both ways, those orange eyes. But I do believe that they will thrive better and you have better survivability of your fry in the Carradino water.
Yeah, I've never been able to notice. I've never noticed a large or a colony to explode in water that they're not supposed to be in. I don't know how many people I sold crystal reds to, crystal blacks, all that stuff. My tigers, everything they put them in tap water, and they don't breed. But the neos that they have in there breed. That's why I always try to tell everybody, if you're going to mix shrimp, and you want Carradino, try to go with their water parameters and then put the neos in that water parameters, because I see more and more that neos will breed in Carradino water, where Carradino don't like to breed in neo water. So do it backwards. Keep your Carradinas in the Carradino water and put the neos in there, and they'll be happy. Now, they do say, and I'm sure Papa Shrimp will agree with this, they do say if you mix two types of shrimp, two different, a neo and a Carradina, that one of them will possibly, start to populate the tank more than the other. I haven't run into that, but that's what they do say. But usually when I house them together, they both grow at a good rates. One will have, the other one will have. I've never gone, wow, they're like really taking over the tank. But it's that way you can almost guarantee that you're going to have babies of Carradina and Neo Carradina when you mix them together, instead of going into the tap water where you only have one have babies. And what I've seen with what I do, I've never had a Carradina in lay babies at tap water.
Cool deal. Well, hey, man, I don't want to cut this short, but we are running a little late. It's almost 9. But, hey, it's a happy Thanksgiving stream, and I'm glad a few of you stuck around and hung out with us while we're trying to keep it shrimple and talk Thanksgiving and talk shrimp. It's a good question.
Blue auras, Alan. Yeah, they're Carradino. Yeah, I don't keep them in any other water.
Yeah.
They're like
I wouldn't. I just had better luck from what I've seen in all of my shrimp, that if I stick with the softer water parameters, almost everything will be okay. You know what I mean? It's the struggle of trying to do one or the other, or push Carradinas into Neo Carradina parameters, or vice versa. I don't really like to. I don't like to push the Carradinas to the Neo side, even if you can. When I had my Babaltis that I was told you could do them in either Neo parameters or Carradina parameters, I put them in Carradina parameters. Well, my orange-eye blue tigers, I got them in Carradina parameters, and I think it works better that way, because if I happen to mix a Neo in there, the Neo is going to do fine all as well, I believe.
So you got to figure too, with us breeding shrimp, these are things that we don't do because we're not the ones that are looking for that look.
That's true.
So, but no, what I'm saying is you're not saying anything bad. You just didn't add in there. The reason you're not doing it is because your tanks, are making you money and you need them to breed.
Yes.
So putting them in water would anything happen? Possibly know that they'll be fine, but they just won't breed. Well, we need our shrimp to breed, so we need to keep them in the waters that they come from. So if it's softer or harder, like they say, a Carradino can go into many, many different water parameters. They can survive it. So if you can go up all the way into water that's supposed to be unconsumable by humans, by the FDA, by all that stuff, 500, then why can't you go in soft water? Why can't you go in, water with no KH? I mean, it might make it a little harder to molt, but it seems like they shine and get thicker shells in soft water. Like I said, I've done it, I don't know how many times, to run two different types of shrimp, instead of having 2 tanks, I keep 1 tank and put 2 sets of shrimp in 1 tank. And, it's like they're all polished up and their shells are thicker and they just look a lot nicer.
That question that Alan Tooth just put in there, that's probably a good one for you since you just had experience with using some calcium in your tank. I'll be right back.
Tank, or will it cause problems with the No. You can put, hold on, I'll say. You can do it. I'll say a couple things. I put a lot of things. I put a lot of things in my tanks now all the time, maybe once a month. But I do a Montmorillonite clay. And that's good for fish. It's good for everything. But it's good for anything with the shell. It's calcium. Montmorillonite clay, 100% natural, for pond clarity and koi health, growth, and colors. But they love the clay. And then the other one I do is I do a lot of reptile stuff. If you look, the reptile stuff, you have bug bites. You look in bug bites, and like the number one thing in there is black fly larvae. Well, if you look through the reptile foods, almost everything they have to start is black fly larvae, soldier fly larvae. All these cool bugs, and then they have veggies and all this stuff in there, and you would think, So they actually make pellets that sink to the bottom, and I just got some the other day, and they like them. But this is a reptile calcium that you could use for snails. Put it in like Snello. But so Reptical, and these are free. These are like handouts. Sample only, not for resale. So I go to my buddy's store and I get this thing's packed. I get all that calcium. And then I mix it up in my powders and stuff. So I have my crack sacks, and a lot of people that order crack sacks from me, which is my mulberry powder. I take the Montmorillonite clay, Bacter AE, some plain calcium, all sorts of stuff. All this really expensive stuff, whether it be high protein, all like that. I mix it up, stir it up, shake it up. And then that's if you call and say, hey, I'd like to buy some of your crack sack, that's what I send you. That's why when you get it, it's not totally green. It'll have a white powdery look to it because it has all these other white powders in it. Has the calcium, the Montmorillonite clay, extra. How
does one use the crack sack?
How does one use the crack sack? Oh, you just sprinkle it on top. It's a powder, and it sinks down, and they go nuts. Yep, they go nuts. I don't think I got it's over there. It's all over by the discus thing. But it's calcium's really good because shrimp need it for their shells. Snails need it for their shells. Anything with a shell needs calcium. That's why, if you feed the wrong foods, if you're feeding foods that don't have calcium, you could have problems. So you can feed filler foods, but
Crack stacks are a Motor City thing, Alan.
yeah, that's what you want to do. What is that? Hey, can I have calcium? So, yeah. If you get something from Mark Shrimp Tanks, he does that's where I kind of got the Montmorillon night clay from. Was Mark Shrimp Tanks, because he brought it to the front, and that's where I heard it from and learned about it. And then I talked to my buddy at the store, and he's like, shit. He's like, man, I got like 5 pounds of it at home. I bought it and I used a couple scoops. You want it? I was like, you're kidding me. He's like, no. I was like, I don't have to buy it from him. So I got this big, huge thing of clay. But yeah, it's good stuff. Montmorillon night clay is really good. You put that stuff in, holy heck, shrimp go nuts. You'll see it. It just goes down through it and they attack it. And it goes down pretty fast too. And then they're all over it. So whatever's in it, they really like it. So you put that in there, it helps with their molting and stuff. It's really good stuff. You don't need, how do I say this in a way? Well, I'm not sponsored by any of them, but
yes, I've already quarantined them, Richard.
You don't need big name. You don't need big name foods. I could raise shrimp all day on green beans, on French cut green beans. And they're 69 cents a can. You know how long I can stretch a 69-cent can of green beans? I mean, there's vitamins and everything in green beans. Then you can just go get some granules, tropical color granules. You can get anything. Like I said, I got they'll eat flake food.
Yeah, bee pollen's a good one. It's got a lot of good, what is it, antioxidants and stuff?
Right. Well, it's all natural. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way you think, Joseph, because that's something that I'm working on. I'm trying to find the right mixture of various ingredients, bee pollen being one of them. There are several foods on the market now, currently. I think one of them is called bee pollen, but it's not the actual bee pollen, is for shrimp.
Here, I'll show you a couple things I use. I went and got my plastic container. So, as you were saying, I do a lot of shopping at the health food store just because, I know it's a couple dollars more, but I don't know when I go to a store, let's say, I don't know, one of the big box stores, I don't know what brand to get that would be, really good. So here, I don't know about this brand, but it's all natural bee pollen, and they're just little granules. So you just drop them in there. They like those. Here's the crack sack powder. As you see, it's white, green and white. So this is my mixture that I sell to people. I use tetratropical color granules in with the shrimp. I use bug bites in with the shrimp, because it's got the it's high protein diet, naturally with sustainably processed insects. So, it's the black fly larvae. I use Nordfin Bug Pro because the number one thing in there is black fly larvae. I use, I'm not lying, crested gecko food. It's a powder. It's the best smelling stuff in the world. Sprinkle that on top. They go nuts. I do use Shrimp Baby. It's the only thing by Dennerley that I will use, or that I use. I also use a thing called Pro Defense, 60% high protein. Sorry about this. It never likes it, but it's 60% probiotic by Tropical. See what else. Oh, I feed the algae Nordfin, or the Nordfin veggie.
Right.
Because these are all little like crackers.
Yeah, that's what we used to feed I think it was the bug.
Little wafers, bug bites.
Yeah, we use those, and then we use the wafers also on Wednesdays. On one of the days when I fed all the Neos, I'd switch off to the wafers, and then the Amano shrimp love those wafers. Ooh, there you go.
I do use this. You know, for years people have been, oh my God, there's copper in there. Will it kill them? No, been using it for years. They love it. But that's for little guys. I even use this. See, a lot of this stuff you can go to a store and get for free. You know, they have it in those little plastic bins and stuff, micro wafers. I mean, it's everything. You know, it's sinking, slowly sinking. Okay, naturally rich, nutrient rich water. Okay, I don't know what that means, but it sounds really good. But all these foods are. I'm not buying that. I mean, this bag is full. I mean, there's a lot, and it's the really small granules. I mean, granted, it's $15, but this is more than you're going to get in a big name little jar.
Do you know how long ago it was when I bought this thing? As many thousands of shrimp that I reared, I still have this, and I've had it over a year.
He said reared.
And then my Bacter AE, I have the small one. This is like 3/4 full, and I still have a whole nother unopened bottle of the Bacter AE.
I do garlic too.
Yes.
Dr. Tim's.
Organic garlic is great.
Yeah. Dr. Tim's Aquatics, check him out. The guy's got incredible stuff.
Yeah. And that's why I like to go to Dr. Tim's, because I can buy the spirulina, I can get the garlic, I can get whatever algae, whatever different powders. And I know they're organic and natural. It's hard to find because you got to get the organic now. You can't just go buy garlic powder off the damn shelf at,
right.
Dollar General.
Yeah. That's what I get scared of. Yeah. Dr. Tim, my buddy had his, he had like this big kiosk thing in his fish store. And, no one knew who Dr. Tim was. So it sat there. And I got more stuff around the corner in my desk that that I do the orders in. It's all this stuff that you're supposed to make, with the Repashy. But this stuff, I got all sorts of stuff over there. Put water on it, turns like a hard paste, But I got other packages of Dr. Tim's over there, like the green peas, all this stuff, these powders.
Yes, that's what I like.
It to me. He's like, oh, look, no one's buying it. They don't know who he is. And he's got those little rubber ice cubes. That's why I make.
Yeah, the ice cube trays are awesome. Those silicone trays.
Yeah, the guy's top notch. People really.
Oh yeah, I've been a direct customer. I set up an account with him a couple of years ago, so I could start selling Dr. Tim stuff on my site. Again, before the house burned down, but I don't know how many kits of the starter kits of the food with the tray. I had separate containers of the spirulina, the garlic, the peas, all the different stuff that he had, because I was going to sell it. The nitrifying bacteria, the instant cycle kits, everything that he had. It was pretty cool. Yeah. Look, we're still talking.
Look,
we want Brian's a talker, Matt. It's all his fault.
I'm like Betty Crocker. I just keep on. I'm a talker like Betty Crocker. Here's Dr. Tim's fish food.
Yeah.
So there's, dude, I've never even opened this stuff yet. Here's Dr. Tim's, more of his garlic.
Yeah.
Here's fish food. Yeah, fish food, garlic, and then seaweed medley.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. I even have Dr. Tim's active pearls for the little, what do they call them?
Oh, the beneficial things?
the other filters where
Yeah,
you
they
have
run the media
the
around.
liquefier, or what are they called? The liquidizers.
I don't know. I've always wanted one.
Yeah. But I mean, I had all kinds of Dr. Tim stuff because I met him in Chicago Aquashella 2019. And then I built a relationship with him and started buying his stuff. And, I'm buying it by the truckloads because I was getting ready to open my website. And so I wanted to make sure I had foods. I had all kinds of LED lights. I was stocking up on Night Crew lights because I really like the Night Crew line. They're affordable and cheap and work. Fluidized media, Jeffrey. But yeah, I went through that whole process with Dr. Tim because it was just quality, top-notch stuff. And then Rapashi came out and they kind of took over.
Yeah, Alan Lucas does use tropical color granules for everything, but he does keep other foods also. It's just, that's his like main staple. But it's if you really read it, it's there's things missing out of it. It can't be the best diet, to add stuff to their diet. Fish too, it's a there's a lot of food in that can. So to feed that, you're good, but you still have to add other things in there.
I use this stuff, but there's the other one, and I don't have one with me that has GH and KH for Neos. This one's for Carradinos because it's only GH plus. Mississippi Hippie was asking. That's why I was.
Oh, hi, Mississippi Hippie. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, that's I don't use any remineralizers for Neos. I use tap water. I don't remineralize nothing with Neos.
Yeah. Well, in my case, because I'm using RO water because I have well water.
Right. Things are different. But if you have to, that's the stuff, the GHKH, that's the best stuff.
But anyways, I want to get out of here. I'm going to go hang with my boy. It's Turkey Day Eve, and we're going to go do some traditional play hockey. Hey, what's up? Nothing. You getting ready to eat some turkey?
Yeah.
You don't like turkey? You want pizza instead? Chicken nuggets?
Exactly.
I couldn't hear that.
Hello.
GHK salty shrimp. Yeah, that's the good stuff, Mississippi Hippie.
Really
Sherry.
You gotta talk.
Hello.
You need to put a one-liner in there.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, freeze-dried krill's a good one too.
Yeah, the one thing I want to try, I fed it to my other fish, is the mysis shrimp or mesis, however you want to say it. But like I was looking at
My DD, I'm trying to get out of here too. Brian just keeps on going.
What I can't remember his name, but he used it for his discus. So I want to try. I want to get some mysis shrimp and use it for the discus. See if they'll. What do you mean, baby Brian BB is growing? Luke. Yeah, Luke's only 9 and he's 5'3". Yeah, so. Yep. All right. Well, I'll let you go. Yep. My oldest boy's here now. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, but
I'm glad you came on with me, man. I hope you have a
microphone. My microphone makes me very happy. I hope everyone's very happy.
Weirdo.
I'm a weirdo.
Happy Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving to everybody out there. I hope you enjoy your time with the families. I'm sure somebody's going to be. I know Jess and them are streaming in the morning. I'll probably be cooking and lurking. So we get to see Joe. Go check it out. He's got a cool sale going on. I got a cool sale going on. Brian's got a cool sale. Vin's got.
I always have a sale.
I mean, not Vin, but buypetshrimp.com.
What are you doing?
Products is doing. Everybody's doing Thanksgiving stuff. So go check out the sales from everybody else. And if you can't find it there, come to my site.
Are you doing 20% on all of your livestock?
Yes, 20% off.
And Neo Carradino?
Yep.
So should I do 35% off?
If you want to, go ahead.
I won't go any lower. Papa Shrimp. If you want any shrimp from Motor City Aquatics, it's 20% off for Thanksgiving. We'll run it through the weekend, so all the way to Sunday, and we'll run right next to In the Race with Papa Shrimp. So if Papa Shrimp ain't got it, holler at us. If we ain't got it, go see him. And he'll probably have the Neos. So if you want Neos, he's probably the guy to go to. My Neos are low. I'm kind of moving and grooving over here. So he's picking up my back end. So you need the Neos. You need Carradino. Come see Big Daddy. But yeah, I'll let you go. Everyone have a beautiful Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for coming and hang out and listening to me with my new microphone.
Yes, thanks you for keeping it shrimple with us.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Had a blast. Thank you.